Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. It is Mentorship Monday. Let me give you the topics we're covering tonight. We've got quite a few things. We're going to do an advanced topic. We're going to be talking about understanding divergence for big plays, high time frames. We are going to cover choosing a side. This is going to be a pro tip for those of you who might be struggling with some back and forth. We are going to cover some trade reviews of some of our members. I'm going to talk about specifically one of our members who contacted me today, saying they struggle with the 5 trade limit. They continue to trade and get themselves into trouble looking at their P&L, and we'll talk about some tips around that I think the first one where I said choosing a side is going to be helpful. I'm also going to be showing you guys some of the newest tech that's coming out. Who is excited about some AlgoBox local to you? So this is the new hotness. Let's click right here, zoom in. Simple. I struggled back and forth around how we were going to showcase this. I mean, AlgoBox is so powerful. It feels like it needs more than just a button, but let's be honest, don't we like simplicity? We are all about the simplicity, taking the complex and making it simpler. Am I right? So how about just being able to turn it on or off with a simple button on any instrument just for you. Now, of course, there's some disadvantage to that. The AlgoBox queue that's in the current room right now inside of Discord is a mix of 4 of those correlated instruments, and that proprietary mix will not be there. However, I have tested it out myself using NQ exclusively. You guys know, who doesn't love the NQ? It's nice and fast, playing it like a video game. We love that one. So NQ on its own, ES on its own. Crude oil. I am going to be bringing back crude oil for myself, $10 a tick. And we're getting some extra volatility there because of macroeconomic events, everything going on over there in Israel and Iran, and all the things that are going to be related to food commodities and the price of oil. I think that's going to give us some good opportunities in oil. They're sad situations, but there are some opportunities for us. So crude oil will come back on the mix, and you'll be able to use AlgoBox on that as well. And we've got some new buttons that are coming. Let's talk about those real quick. Let me show you what that can do. Very powerful. Let's take a peek at some of the new buttons. Down here at the bottom of your chart, you'll be able to, how many of you have entered into multi-contract trade? You go tap, tap, tap to enter in. You know, your targets kind of like spread themselves across depending on where they hit, whether they hit the bid or the ask, and they get all spread out on you, right? So, you know, I have that all the time. You guys have watched my live streams, and, you know, it's very tempting to sit there and manage them. And you guys know I try to tell you, you know, rest, relax, don't be modifying your stuff. Well, you'll be able to have your own on the left here. We'll focus in on spread targets. That button right there that says each tick near, each tick far. You'll be able to, near is going to be the nearest target to you. You'll be able to spread them behind the nearest or spread them behind the farthest. So depending on, you're like, you know what, I think the market's moving really quick. I want to, boom, press the button really fast. You don't have to move all your targets out. Boom, just press, go to the far one. Boom, all of your targets get split out behind it with one click. Won't that be cool? And we'll talk about each of those ones. I don't know if we're going to cover all of them tonight, because once we release it, we'll go through a full documentation around it. You'll also be able to stack your stops. Who doesn't want to? Sometimes you're like, just let me give it 10 ticks of space. Boom, stack 10. You know what? I'll risk 10 ticks here. Boom, press stack 10, stack 20, stack 30. You kind of get what those probably mean. Stack it behind 20, 30, or spread. So you'll be able to press spread. It will take the nearest or farthest based on what you've got set in the parameters to press spread on your stops, and that will stick them back behind there and spread them out every other tick or every tick, however you want to choose that. I think it's going to be very handy for me. I'm a multi-contract entry person. If you guys are trying to, you know, follow the way that I do things, you'll want to do that too. So those are some additional buttons that are coming in the next set of releases. Let me give a couple of visuals, what that looks like. Snagit will cooperate with me. So yeah, you'll be able to press those buttons. You notice they are nice and neatly stacked. And again, you'll be able to control the distance between those. You can control stack far. You can control stack near. You'll be able to do every other tick, every 2 ticks, every tick. however you want to select those. So I'm a big fan of, as it comes up to my area, I like to press near and single tick. So I will literally have them hit boom, 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 like right back to back to back. Because sometimes, how many times have you got that, you know, it's coming up to your first target, you know, instead of going maybe 10 or 15, it might go that extra 2 or 3 ticks, grabbing every drop of that liquidity that's coming into an area right there. Can be super handy if you are doing a T1 scenario. Let's say that you're going against the MACV Ultimate, you know, you just want to scalp anyways. Boom, you'll be able to press that each near. Super handy. And of course, you know, oftentimes I'm a big reversal player. That's, you know, I give no bones about it. I do prefer catching a giant reversal. You guys know my whole thing on the masher. So that's what we'll be covering. Another thing, we'll actually probably cover this one in the next Mentorship Monday. Come back next Monday for, we're going to talk about 10-minute windows, lowering your risk, maximizing your concentration. If you're struggling and you're like, you know, I sit down, I stay too long at my desk, we'll talk about maximizing a 10-minute window. Maybe you're the 940 to 950 player. Maybe you're the final 7 minutes, the end of the day trader. Maybe you are right after the 10:10 to 10:30 launching in trader. We'll talk about that. Probably covering that one next week because we have a lot to cover here tonight. Pro tip, we are going to cover choosing a side. Maybe you want to be a perma bear. Maybe you are always a short player. This is a specialized tip that I think that if you are, again, a struggling trader, instead of trying, if you're overwhelmed by, well, you know, which side do I pick? Pick one. Pick one, stay to it. Only hold your finger over one side. Hold it over only the buy or over only the sell. If you want to be a perma bear, you want to be a perma bull, pick your side and stick on it. Or we'll show you some additional tools that we've moved over to our website. One of our members, Plutonium, stepped up and he set the 5-trade tracker. If you guys haven't seen that, very cool. We're actually migrating it over to our website and we have the majority of it all over there. But, you know, if you guys want to jump on his tool that's there right now, this will go away in a week or so when we get it converted to our website. But one of those on choosing a side, the tide wave visualizer, very simple. Have this over on the left-hand side of the chart. If we're neutral, red or green, you can have this staring you in the face, maybe off on the top left of your screen, being like, dude, I am shorts only. Okay, tide is red, wave is red. I've clicked it, I've identified it, or I'm all green today. Both sides, they're both green right now. I am not going to do anything but hold my finger over the buy button. Some simple tricks and tips there around staying on a side. We'll talk about all of that and then some here tonight. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, don't forget, trading is risky, but if trading is for you, this might also be the place for you. Let's show you guys the tracker right now here on our website as well. So you'll be noticing at the top right, I mean, you guys kind of tell me, but so this happens to me all the time. See my cool little 5-trade sheet up here? I love having it physically here. It's been here physically for forever. But this happens all the time. I'm going to go do a live stream, whatever, and this is like all kiltered over on the side of my desk. I also, because it has to be here on this little tiny live cam thing up at the top, it gets all jacked up, and I'm always trying to like, okay, let me make sure this looks right before I get started. Or I don't have, you know, it eats up some space on my desk. But now we've digitized it thanks to Plutonium, and then Curtis converted this over here for us, has it on our website. You'll be able to turn sound on, sound off. This is, of course, if you've gone through my training and you are trading like me, I like to increase my trade size from trades 1 through 5. Again, everything that I talk about here is suggested for me, myself. I'm teaching myself, a former version of myself. If you decide to choose how I do things, I'm just teaching you how I do things. I'm not suggesting that you have to or that you should. Up to you. But TIW, what does that stand for? Some people have asked before. It looks like we're missing a period at the end there. TIW. Toe in water. Toe in the water. Tiny trade there on my first trade. Quarter position, half position, full plus, and of course a bonus. And you can click each one of these to track where you're at. First one winner, or if you had a loser, no problem. Click it one more time. That'll be red. You can hear the sound there. I'll go ahead and turn it off so it's not super annoying. Second one might be a winner. Speaking of winner chicken dinner, this is going to help one of our members here that we're going to talk about tonight, who has shown a kind of a P&L blast. He has had a few issues with getting well up on the day and then continuing to trade, just not being able to stop at the right time. And for that, I mean, I'll just address it right now. You really have to practice this. This is something that you just have to practice doing it. Do 5 trades. Pause, look at it, state it. Another thing that you might want to use is use the room to your advantage. Go into our public chat room, post your P&L, where you're at. Be like, hey guys, I'm done 5 trades. I'm up 4,400 on the day. This was one of our members here today that was talking about, let me show the screenshot they sent over to me. Again, I'll mask the names here. Let me pull this. I thought it was... Oh, here we go. I had responded to him earlier. Okay, so it's at the top of the list. Okay, so he said, hi, Vinny. Sorry to bother you again. I'm completely lost. Something is seriously wrong with my brain. This keeps happening to me over and over again. I've lost so much money in evaluations of PA accounts. It's always the same. Why can't I just do what you say? 5 trades, 1.5 hours. It's always 4,500 more, and I pass, and it's always end up the same way. The thing is that I am somehow conscious about it, and there's always a moment in which I say to myself, okay, you're done. But I never listen. $500 more. Not 4,500. Do I need a therapist? Is trading not for me because I can't control myself? I think I know how to use the tools because I do good up to a point, and then it all goes to the dark side. Anyway, you're really busy, need help, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here is, he sent me this, and I did ask him to send me the summary page on this, but this gives a visual. Maybe you guys can help out as well. Does this happen to you? Do you find yourself over trading? I mean, I've done this in live streams. I feel the pressure of the live stream. Honestly, I don't think it's like myself. Like, I'm perfectly happy going, okay, cool. I got my 4K on the day. I'm good here. In fact, even today I did 42.25, and yes, I'll be posting my broker statement out there. We also are doing a giveaway. You want to get a 43-inch 4K monitor, kind of like the big one I've got here. Although I've got a 55, but I have found that it's even slightly too large. I kind of want to go down to the 43. I still think the 43 might be the ideal, depending. If you can see well, then 43. If you need a little bit more zoom in, you might need the glasses thing going, then maybe to 55. But we are giving away the 4K. If you are over there on Real Vinny Emini on Twitter, just retweet, put a comment, hit a like, and we're going to randomly select that on November the 1st. And we're going to do another one on November 11th to celebrate ICT leaving Twitter. Won't that be fun? So go check me out over there on Real Vinny Emini. Okay, so he says this happens to him. This happened to him. Is this the 16th? Yes, so this was today here. Well up. And then wants to get that last thing. This I don't have a problem with at all. I mean, once I'm hitting it, if I get 4K on the day, bro, I am happy. I am done. I have done my job. Cool. I'm ready to walk away or restart cadence at that moment. And you really do need to do that. I think maybe post a screenshot of this, maybe copy and print this and stick it on your wall to remind you. I had to do this with I used to have a $400 superstition. I say used to. I mean, I still think it probably still exists in me. But the 4K super, or the $400 superstition. So if I'm $400 away from my mental 4K target, I have found myself at $3,600 and going, okay, It's just $400 more. All right, and so I'm chomping at the bit to get that last $400, and I have given back significant amounts of capital. So I called it a $400 superstition. First thing, you have to identify the problem. Identify it. Be like, yes, I do this. I have seen this happen over and over again. I am at X number of dollars, and just call it a superstition. Call yourself out. Like, I have a superstition and it affects me. At the same time, one day you can overcome it. That's why I still name it a superstition, because it's not an actual thing. But again, the market is going to come and get its pound of flesh at some point. It's like riding the bull. I've told you guys that in like video 1 or 2 in the risk series at the very beginning. Get in, we get out. We are riding a bull. It's a bull ride is 8 seconds. You get in, you get out. If you stay in there with the bull will beat you up. You are going to ultimately, come to a demise. If you try to ride every move of that bull, it is going to throw you. Okay. So, number 1, identify the problem, put it in your mind, vision board it, stick it up on the wall in front of you. Like, do not do this. You can learn from your mistakes as well. Okay. And then replace the habit. Remember, you cannot erase. You must what? What do I tell you about habits? You cannot erase. You must, what rhymes with erase? Replace. Do not try to just erase. You must replace. Replace the habit. So replace that habit by creating a new habit. The only way to create a habit is what? Repetition. There is no substitute for the repetition. Every athlete knows this. Every mental scholar knows this. Repeating, learning facts, etc. Going through it over and over again before it becomes that habit. So repeat. How do we do that? Market replay. Okay. Market replay is your friend. This is where you are going to do all of your practice. A lot of you guys rely on the real-time data of the market to come and do your practice. You should not be doing that. It's not fast enough. It doesn't happen often enough. You can't do it on the weekends. You need to become intimately familiar with market replay. Now, one of those things, we are now going to be putting AudioBox in the next release that's dropping literally within days from now. The new release, you will have AudioBox. How cool is that, huh? AudioBox, can we type some AudioBox in the chat? Who is excited about AudioBox? Type AudioBox, spam the chat with AudioBox. That is going to be awesome. You're going to have it local to you, so no excuse. You'll be in market replay. You'll have it just like you have it in real markets. So get that market replay going. Use it, okay? Maybe the AudioBox will encourage you to do it because you'll have it local. That'll be awesome for you, okay? But practice, and practice what? Perfectly. Practice perfectly. Now, when you're in the middle 40 days, remember we have 4 sections in our 120-day program. If you are new with us, maybe you don't know this, go and watch our video on the 120-day program. And we're dividing that up into 40s. Okay, we have 3 sets of 40. Okay, so first 40 days, middle 40 days, final 40 days. In the middle 40 days, now remember, first 40 days, you're just going to be learning. Okay, just sitting in, dive bombing into the video content and training, all videos. Okay, then you go to the middle 40 days. That I want you to take a ton of practice. Take every single trade. Take it. We are creating some muscle memory action in the middle 40 days. But the final 40 days, what are we doing? Final 40 days, we need perfect practice. Perfect practice in the final 40 days. And if you're at a spot where you're ready to be trading, as you know, our member here who is saying, hey, I get up on these, what's happening is you have bad habits. So you have practiced, maybe you're stuck in the middle 40 days. That middle 40 days, you've taken all these trades, you continue to take all these trades. And again, a lot of them work out really well. But when you come into live markets, you have got to be disciplined. You have to treat this like it is a business. You are coming here not to just play a game. At the same time, we approach the markets like a game, but like every gamer, we know our limits. We know how, like, we need to come in, make our bank. We know what we're trying to get ourselves for a salary. We know our risk requirements. We know our profit requirements. If you are a full-time day trader, you need to have your expenses laid out. You need to know, what you're doing, right? So that perfect practice, let's do this. This is how you replace the habit. Practice it perfectly. So what do you have to do if you're struggling with the 5 trades? Okay, you got to do 5 trades. That's it. Like you have to do the 5 trades, and you need to concentrate on the winner chicken dinner. Okay, what would the chicken do? All right, and go ahead and beat chicken. Call yourself out. How many times have you guys heard my old streams when Curtis would be in there and I would say, Curtis, $400 superstition, I'm up 3,600, bro, don't let me do it, don't let me do it, right? But I would say it out loud, and I called myself out loud on it, and that would oftentimes save me. I would stop at that 3,600. I would wait until I absolutely had an absolute perfect trade there, and if it did not go immediately with me, I'm done. I am at 3,600. I'm closing out around 3,500. I'm not going to try to push that last $400. I'm obviously extending myself that day. Now, if I blow straight through the 4K, that's kind of how it did today. I was at 3,800, then I went straight to 4,225. Relatively simple end of day, big dropout at the end of the day. Relatively easy plays there today for us in the final afternoon session as well. So hopefully you got some tips from that. Practice it, identify it. Okay, now now you got the virtual tracker as well. Okay, if you're not doing it on your desk, you want this. Like, this will probably, for us, I will replace the my current one up here top right of the screen. I know it's going to be sad, but I think this is going to be up here in some of the next streams. I'll zoom it out here, get it the proper size, and you guys will see this up here in the top left. So I'll be controlling this electronically, but that will get one less little video camera out of my space here and not having to deal with the physical. Now, again, you don't have to, but I think a lot of people do like the idea of having one of these. Maybe you have it off on a side monitor. Maybe you put it on a tablet. Go over to our website and have it open there on your tablet. And again, that other tool there where you'll be able to have this in your purview as well. Maybe have this on a tablet and you can just touch it and set to yourself, okay, I am trading shorts only right now. Tides down, waves down. I am not going to hit that green button. You just have to tell yourself that. Like, I'm not trying to sell red widgets or green widgets today. It is red or the opposite. We're going to do green type of thing, right? Don't know that you use the neutral, but technically it's there. More of a gimmick for you if you would like to use it. So those tools are there for you if you need to get to those. They're in the tips and tricks section on the left-hand side inside of Discord. Don't forget, Discord is, of course, available for free. There's a 2-week free trial, all that good stuff. We're going to do orientation at the end here. So those of you guys who are new with us, or if you're interested in kind of knowing more about how to get started with us, stay till the end of the session here tonight. I'm going to go specifically over stuff for those of you guys who are new, do some orientation around that. Let's go to the advanced topic I wanted to cover here tonight. Big play for me today, looking at the highest time frames. It kind of gave it away. Now, I've got a little bit of a different layout here on my live stream with you guys. I'm trying to simplify the whole thing, but don't think that I don't have my 5 chart layout here in front of me. We've got our 5 charts. I've got the tide, the wave, the MACV filter, and I've got the higher time frame, big and small. I don't want to say higher time frame, lower time frame, but I've got a big and a small right here in my purview, always ready for me to take trades off of those. But I've got those kind of masked here on this one chart down here to the right. Kind of up to you if you want to do this. I still don't think this is better. I really don't. I like to have these all. I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, oh, I wish I could see both of these right now. But I have to click down here into the tabs. I'm telling you, I do this for you guys. I do this for you. So when I'm doing a live stream, that it's not overwhelming for the new people who come in and the trolls that come out and look at all this complicated. Look, the market trading is complex. And if you want a lot of things lined up to give yourself confidence in a trade, that's what I built. That's the type of strategy that I like. I like things all lined up for myself. And then we are catching them off sides and grabbing bags. That's our objective. But down here at the bottom, I've got all 3 of the tabs down here, and I can switch between the 89 tide. I can switch to the wave that's determined by the week. And I have the MACV right here as well on the tab. So let's go over here. I'm going to click on the first one. So I'm on the tide. That's our 89 range. Again, that is a fib number. That's why we choose that. So on the 89, one of our, what some people refer to as an anchor chart. So my anchor is here. Divergence. We're going to talk about using divergence mostly on high time frames. I like it on the higher time frames more so than the lower time frames. There are some things that are the opposite. Some things that on the lower work really well on the lower time frames that don't work on the higher time frames. If you go into our announcement section on the top left, you will see Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's right-hand man, talking about the advantages of small algorithms. He called them small algorithms. That's what we are. That you can make a lot. You can make a bundle on the lowest time frames, taking advantage of the inefficiencies on the lowest time frames consistently down there. And he said, but when you extrapolate it to the higher time frames, it's less performant. And he mentions that. That's us. He's talking about us, and he doesn't even know we exist. Pretty cool. So that's our philosophy. Most of our stuff is going to be down the lower time frames. So tonight on an advanced topic, though, let's talk about what type of things I like to see on a higher time frame where I can use it. Now, I like to see very exaggerated divergences, and divergence is a very common term. It's not something I put together. You can go and Google that one if you like, but it is simply two things that usually go together, but for the moment, they're not going together. So they are diverging from one another. So we typically are talking about pivots. So these two pivots right here that we're looking at here, and now down here, I'm looking at two pivots down here. What we should notice is that these down here are at a slant downward. These up here are on a slant upward. Normally, you would think that these two, and this is the ultimate oscillator down here at the bottom, these two should be in tandem. They typically want to roll together, but when they go apart, this can oftentimes signal something. This is like an underlying indicator that goes, something's amiss here. Something might be not quite right. And if this comes in on the highest time frames, you can oftentimes avoid getting off sides on the lower time frame, because look at an example like this right now. When the market is moving straight up like this, and if you could not see the right hand side of the chart, if this is all you saw right now, you would just see a giant uptrend. So you're down on the lower time frame down here, and you're thinking, okay, I am long only, baby. I am moving up and up and up. But if I happen to glance down here and I'm like, wait a minute, we have a big, this, and again, make it exaggerated, because the small things, a lot of people are like, oh, what about this one? Is this a divergence? Let me answer that question for you. This is our rule of thumb. Are you ready? Okay, if you got to ask, it's a no. It needs to be absolutely clear and obvious. When we're looking for patterns of things that we're looking for, it needs to be an absolute standout. It's like no doubt that it's there. Okay, we want clear. Well, how about we call it clarity? And in a case when it's divergence, we need, am I gonna have enough room? Yeah, I think there's 2 G's in that. So it needs to be an exaggerated move. So in this case, was this exaggerated? I think so. This was huge. Let's zoom in here, and this to here, this to here. That is a very large set of pivots. This is hugely like, wow, should be way up. And down here, this is big exaggeration. These are not close to each other. Like this over here, is this exaggerated? No. Is this clear? No. This here, kind of, you know, we up. Okay, a little bit better. But this one is absolutely just stunningly exaggerated. You can see it, right? So this is a divergence that I want to go ahead and I want to mark on my chart. Now, I was surprised because we do actually have a divergence indicator that did not fire. It was another thing that I was surprised by. So be careful of always relying on a divergence indicator to show up. This one worked out really well, and they're not always perfect. Look at this one right here. What did that one fire off from? Well, do you see why I would say you don't want something that's not exaggerated? Was this exaggerated right there? Oops. No, in fact, it kind of looks like a mess, doesn't it? I don't see anything super clear right there. Why would that be firing off right there? It's an easy one to filter. And down below, Look at this. Okay, easy one to ignore. That one on the left though, pretty exaggerated. I think we could see that one and this one over here, but I was surprised today that I did not see another triangle right here. I do not know why. Don't know what the calculation in it wasn't picking up for. I'd have to go back and I don't know. Honestly, there should be one right there, but it didn't show up. We did have a down 2 finger there as well. So mentally, we're prepared that this may not continue on. Now, it doesn't guarantee it because, again, sometimes these can do a turn here and then start to wiggle and kind of grind up. So you have to be careful of those, but you need to have the idea there that there might be a big opportunity for a drop there. And sure enough, big drops there. The size of that drop, let's use our measuring tool. That is 407 ticks, and that's not even to the tip bottom there. So, you know, pretty big drop there. Then we have the trap right into the golden ropes, the straight move back up, and then another divergence. And I took advantage of this one at the end of the day here on my shorts at the end of the day. Again, one of my favorite types of plays to go against the grain when we can find big high time frame plays that go again, or well, for me, I'm a big bear player too. I do like to short more than I do the longs. I don't know what it is about me. I just have learned about myself. It's one of those things. I don't know that I would say it's advantageous or not, but you know, sometimes you can play your weaknesses as your strengths. I know it's a weakness of mine. I like to short things. I don't know why. It's just a thing. Anybody else like that? Anybody else like always wanting to press the sell button, always wanting to go down, and always questioning whether something's going to continue to go up? I'm like a big skeptic on things continuing to go up. Maybe it's the pessimist in me. If somebody wants to psychologically write that one up for me, you know, I'm sure they're like, yeah, Vinny's super negative. Like, must be his negative personality. Always wants things to go down. Okay, maybe. So whatever it is, divergence. Watch for divergence on the high time frame plays to cue you in on big plays, especially in the end of day setups. Okay, let's talk about pro tips. Pro tip of the night. They call it choose a side. Choose a side ahead of time. Okay, if you have not seen a video, go into our room and type ! Stalk. I don't think it's stalking. I hope it's not stalking. Stalk. Somebody check me on that. Could somebody type it in the chat? It's either stalk or stalking, and let me know. Try them both. But there is a video that I did on stalking your trades, meaning you should know ahead of time. Don't react. The whole key to that whole thing is don't react. Be ready ahead of time. Stalk it. You're going to know. You are ready for a side. Choose a side, red or green. Okay. Choosing the side, pick one ahead of time before you press the button. Which one are you ready for? And then hold your mouse over that button. This is a huge, again, it's a simple tip, but it is a very good pro tip. Choose a side, stick to it. Maybe even throughout the whole session if you're struggling. Now, again, I'm not saying for everybody. If you're not struggling, then don't do this. But I'm talking to the person who is, if you are struggling, if you're like, oh, I'm nervous, which side do I do? Look, you know that the markets are 50-50, which is why, you know, turds like ICT can go out there and beat their chest because they're always like, I mean, I listened to him on Sunday just to torture myself to see if I can make it through one. 3 hours of him waffling through 6 different pairs of maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, maybe it goes up. Hey, if it goes up, then I'm right. But if it goes down, well, I might be right, buddy. You know, I kind of said it could go down too. I could see it both ways, but I'd like it to go up. Okay, well, great. You know, the waffle. The market goes up or the market goes down. All right, so choose a side. And then play that side well. Got it? That is the pro tip for tonight. Very simple. Like, see how that changes your trading. If you were to just pick a side, maybe you're a perma bear. Have you ever heard this term? Perma bear. Go look that one up. Some people like go shorts only. Nothing wrong with using one button. Now again, you're gonna need to close the trade, so maybe use the close half button, or you know, close out. You could technically just hit sell and close. You could, you know, some of it you might want to buy, but no, actually you could limit yourself to just one button. What if you're struggling, what if you only chose one button? Perma bear. The opposite, of course. What if you only hit one button all the time?
Harmonic NQ on the 9.
So these are just tips if you're struggling. Okay, then stick on the side. Now, if you're not going to do it all the time, if you're like on a day when it's, I'll say Fridays, like you want to be a perma bull. Okay, if you go back historically, I mean, never be short on a Friday. Like, if you're going to short on a Friday, scalp it. But you will see run days come in on Fridays. You know, there's a lot of people who will speculate as to why. I can just tell you what the stats say. Okay, Fridays, stay on that perma bull side. Okay, just don't try to short something on a Friday when you're end of day, midday, anything you're like, oh, it's way overdone, bro. Those Fridays can just run and run and run because it's going to be the biggest. You just do not want to be off sides on that. Go with the MACVU, and usually it's a run day. Okay, pick one. Okay, pick it and stick it, and especially if you're struggling, just choose one side. And it would free up a hotkey for screenshots. Good point. Hooked on Pips says, yeah, why not? Hooked on Pips, you like the short side too? Yeah, man. You know, even today, I was all shorts. I hit 100% today. But summary page here, you know, I was 100%, but I was all shorts. And that's on a day where, I mean, look at the market today. Right, we're all up. But every play that I'm playing, I hit the short side. 42.25 on the day. You can make money both directions. You just got to, you know what you're good at. Okay. So that's your pro tip of the night. Dwell on that. Now, also use the power of I am. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys, there are some people who are big manifestors. Okay. The power of I am. Now, this is also the name of Yahweh. There are all kinds of things you might be. I say might be because I don't know for sure. I'm no full theologian on this stuff. I've done some big studies, but you are invoking the name of God when you do this. It's really interesting. I am. So I am, and then say what you are. A great. I am. How about this? A great short trader. Own it. Whatever you are. I am a great long player. I am a great scalper. I am a great morning 940 to 950 trader. Okay. Say it. Say it out loud to yourself as you're stepping up to your desk. I am great at this. Okay. Don't come out here and be like, well, I've got to be great at this and this and this and this. Just find out what you're good at. And again, now middle 40 days, discover this for yourself. Don't jump the gun. This is when you've reached your final 40 days and you're going through the motions, you're going through perfecting it, and you're like, you know what? I'm just not really good at these continuation plays. Like I'm looking for the reversal. I'm going to show you guys some examples from today where you can still be a reversal trader and in the direction of the grinders that go in the direction of the current trend using the crosses. Let's go into that right now. Okay, power of I am. Say that I am the ultimate bear. I am the ultimate bull trader. Say it out loud. Right? Pro tips. Now, let's go through some examples here from today. Using the crosses. I want you guys to really take a screenshot of this right here. This right here. And then you might want to rewind and play this from today. This is 3. That one came in at 3:15, but like if you were to start this at 3 o'clock, what is this, first of all? Everybody name it. What do we have right here? Oh, one of my favorite plays. Absolutely amazing. We had some beautiful moonshots today. Okay, that is a moonshot. We've got the Enigma, the enigmatic moon, plus a cross. Like a headshot, but with an Enigma. Beautiful drop on that. Let's get the measurement. Oops, wrong button. That is an 85 tick drop, almost grabbing an entire 89 bar. Speaking of an 89 bar, pro tip, are you ready? If you stayed through this part, this is key. There is an indicator that you guys don't know about. It has been in our arsenal for a long time. I don't mention it very often, but if you want to go and add it to your chart, I added this on mine today because I was playing the 89 with that giant divergence. So I added this indicator and I pulled it off just for you guys so I could show you adding it back here tonight. So just for you guys, because I love you. All right, come over here into the AlgoBox and look for an indicator called the AlgoBox New Bar Notifier. I created this for myself a long time ago because this came from my mentor, Joseph James. But it's interesting, this kind of crossed over to my other mentor, Oliver Velez, as well. Both of them would be like, check out the previous bar. Oliver Velez was huge on now. He had this really wild claim. I remember one of his very first things, I don't know if this is actually an accurate stat or not, but he said if the previous bar was green, there's an 80% chance that the next bar is also green. That always stuck with me. I was like, oh, it's really simple to code. And I don't know the stat on it, but I will tell you that yes, it is more likely that the next bar is going to be the same color. Everybody get that? Okay. So I've also found though, that what they didn't catch into was immediately after the last bar completed and the next bar starts, it's kind of rare that a bar just goes straight in that direction. Now I'm talking about high time frame bars. High time frame. I'm talking about high time frame. This is why I'm going to tell you to add this new bar identifier on your highest time frame on the 89, and you might want to also have it on the wave, and I'll show you how we use it and why and how I used it today to pick out when I was going to go ahead and scalp against the flow. A scalp against the direction was this new bar notifier helped me out on that. I'm going to go ahead and add it. Gives me a couple options up here at the top. I'm going to enable the audio alert. Click on choose a file, and if you've got our system, you'll be able to come in here and type in new, and you should kind of get a list that looks like this. Okay, you should see new bar tide, new bar wave, news event 10 minutes. You can scratch that one, it's for something else, but new bar tide, new bar wave, this will automatically tell you, hey, you got a new bar on the tide. And again, these aren't going to show up very often, but you'll hear it. New bar on the tide. That can be like, oh, cool. I've got my audio cue to go new bar. Oh, nice. Let me see what the previous bar was. Okay. Now, oftentimes the following bar, even if it's going to go in that direction, will oftentimes come against that bar a little bit. If you watch a bar develop, right? How many times have you seen your bars? Let me press escape here. Go ahead and I'm going to select new tide. So I'm going to put this on the tide. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. So I've got a new bar identifier there, new bar and tide on bar close. And I don't want to label on it, but I'll go ahead and click on OK. So now when that bar completes, I will now get an audio alert that tells me, cool, that bar is done. And I've got a new bar. Now let's zoom into these bars. And again, we don't want a lot of people like, oh, I love to zoom super far. And like this, you lose context. The farther you zoom in on these, you lose context. So if you're going to do this where you're like super zoomed in on them, I encourage you to have two charts then. Okay. If you really want to see, the size of a bar coming in, but like, look at this one right here. So we've got this giant bar that printed out right here. And yes, it continued down. I should have done it in red. Okay, so we got this is a, it's a down bar. But the next bar will oftentimes go into it first before it continues in that direction, right? Have y'all seen that? And when is it going to do it? It's more likely to do it at the beginning of the following bar. So that's my spot where I might want to go ahead and take a shot. I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not. It does for me. I like to think of it in that way. So I will enable that, and then that will give me my scalp in the opposite direction. And look at this one. This one ended up going all the way up. This at some point was a giant green bar. You're probably getting super nervous because this sucker's like, if you were going to go short here, this thing went all the way up, then tail barred it all the way down and made this little bitty body bar down here, right? But that means that this bar went all the way up it and before it crawled back down. You see what I'm saying? So I want to go boom right here. As soon as that bar is done, boom, new bar. Okay, new bar on the tide. It will say that to me. And now I'm not going to take a trade off my high time frame, but I saw the high time frame. I saw the high time frame divergence coming in. It was very clear, as I said from earlier. And then I want to see, dude, wouldn't it be awesome if I can catch 89 tick drop? That's exactly what I wanted to do at my end of day. So to do that, it's just one bar. All I have to do is predict one bar on the 89, and I'm getting nearly 100 ticks. You guys understand that? So that can be very handy as an audio cue, and then something that you don't have to, like, you know, have in your face staring at you. But again, if you watch these bars develop, you'll see that, you know, quite often. Okay. So let me zoom back out here.
Double delta by NQ on the 3.
Let's talk through back to this really cool crossplay setup here. So obviously our system picked the perfect pivot here. We hit the drop down, we get the fake out. Now, boom, this comes down really fast. This came down super fast. Let's see, this one's a little bit tricky. If you have watched all my training videos, what would we call this? Let's see if you can think about it. If it went fast, okay, fast is the key word here. Speed wise, boom, dropping down. Okay, now this was really slow. This spot, super slow, slow up, and then boom. What do we call this play? What do I say about something that moves fast versus slow? Racquetball, George, the man with the plan. First guy to type it in there, the racquetball play. If you hit a ball hard off the front wall, boom, it's coming back. If it goes slow, it might not. If it's slow, it's going to go. Keep on going. This one went down fast. That's the rip. Okay. Ripping it down. Everybody's looking. All eyes. All the retailers are like, oh, did you see that? They're calling their buddies. Dude, did you see that play? Okay, I'm going short. Now, how do we know they got short, though? How do we know they got short? Do you see it? Okay. We know they got short. This is a play that every time you see this, okay, zip down against the main primary trend, which it was, the market was moving up at the time, and you see a down, and then boom, that first cross, and it's fast. Now, if it's slow, let it go, okay? But if it comes down fast, listen, this is a easy reversal play. I don't have a name for this play, but if you see this, I'm telling you, you will see this a lot in a grind up. Best place to ever get in on one of those positions going long. You see a white cross solo by itself, no double cross, no nothing, just a white cross. Now, not necessarily one of the bigger ones, because that means there's algorithmic size coming in there, but white crosses are identifying retail-ish size. Okay, when we see a double, the reason that we always talk about the double cross on the whites is I know we've got retail side. If there's a follow-up to it, that's algorithmic side, balancing it out, which is why I want to take something on a double cross. But these will oftentimes show and indicate a trap. So watch for that move right there. You know, if you guys want to put that in your arsenal, take a screenshot of that right there. This happens, and you'll see this a lot. You will see this quite a lot on those. Even this one right here. Can you scalp on that? Boom. It comes down real quick. Whoop. Can you take a shot up? Yes. Now, did it make some big move up here? Not on this one. At this point, we had double enigmas coming in at the top, and we also had the divergence highest time frame. This was literally high of day before we got the drop off. But you will see those. Let's see how many others we caught that were like that. Would have been beautiful if I could have seen a white cross down here. Didn't. This one gave no indication of it. There was some pretty significant volume, though, as you can see, coming in there. But relative, we did not trigger a cross here. Look at this one down here. That's huge. Huge. Okay, but kind of same concept here. And did it get everybody's attention? Yes, everybody's attention. Everybody's looking at it. First one comes straight through. Second one, boom, hits, pow, right back up. These are going to happen often. Another one, boom, drop out, fast move down. Everybody's like, oh, I got it. Okay, I mean, look at this. This is like, okay, they thought about going long. Okay, no, it's everybody's like, oh, look, the market showed its hand. It's going down. Okay, let's get short. Okay, I'm getting short. Oh, crap. Again, yes, it came down ultimately, but you know how it is. We are just trying to grab bags. Can I grab a bag out of that? Yes. Can I get my 10, 15 out of it? Yes. In fact, let's see how many ticks we can get out of that. So hit the wrong button on that. I've moved it recently, so it's not in the same spot. It's 50 tick up move. Great little spots to take those shots in the direction of the primary trend. A lot of great setups coming in today. Another moonshot for the big drop. Moonshots, oof. Man, who doesn't love a moonshot? Let's see if we can find any more moonshots here today. Oh, what's this? Double cross top of a zone. We want to go short. Crosses all the way across the top of the zone. We love the double crosses up. Oh, another one. Double cross hitting the top of a zone, right? You see it? So think about who's getting involved here. Let's talk about the why, because everybody's always like, oh, Vinny, you just, show the tools and how to use the tools. Well, yes, but you want to know and understand the why. So we got first click is retailers going, okay, oh yes, okay, this looks like we're going up. All right, we've touched here once, touched here. Okay, this looks like we got some good speed up. Cool, I'm getting in long. Right, counter drives it back down. This happens all the time. Where do I want to take my targets on one of these? Again, I'm not trying to hit home runs out of it, but do I want to get base hits and doubles? Yes. Can I take it at the middle of the zone? Remember, zone is this big, so target 1 right there, middle of the zone. Target 2, I want to hit on the other side. Didn't quite get there, but oftentimes we'll go to the opposite side, hit right there on the pink line. So a spot where when we get that double touch, probably good to go ahead and call the T2 right there on the other side. Pay attention to those lines. Remember, if those are being drawn, those are auto drawn for you. So, respect them. Some other cool plays. Enigmas at work. The other good ones were there in the morning. Let me show one more thing around Masher. Why you really should be paying attention to the Masher, or whether you are seasoned vet or you are struggling. Let me show you how many times, if you simply waited for a Masher touch, how awesome these plays are. Let's look at some that avoid a play. First of all, look at this thing. Holy cow. Holy shnikes. What a trade call. Look at this one up here. System calling it to the tick. Come on. You can't beat that, y'all. Can't beat it. Okay, but let's say that you had only touched on mashers. Let's see how many times if we touch a masher. How about this one? Okay, up move, boop. Touch the masher. So can we take a short there? Yep. Calls the top, touch of the masher. How about this one? Touch of the top. Oh, yep. Touch of the top, go down. How about the bottom side? Can it work on the bottom side? We touch on the white line, we go up, boop. Yep. How about this touch? Did we go up? Yep. So can we avoid this one? Yep. Avoid this one. Avoid this one. Okay. So we get a touch right here. Again, is it 100%? No. Do we get it after plateau? Yes. Huge drop. I am going to get used to pressing the right button on this, promise. That's a 78 tick drop off of that touch. This one. So we wait for a touch at the top. Boom. Drop. I think, oh, that's not very much. Remember, this is a larger AlgoBar, MACV 9s. So that's 67 tick drop. Not bad. Another one at the top of the touch. 61 ticks.
Double delta sell NQ on the 3.
Top. Nothing there to show it, but did we get a drop off of it? Yes. 100 ticks. Exactly. 100 tick drop. Off of the masher touch. Long side, you probably find the exact same thing. Just wait until it's out here. Don't play in the middle. Another one of those pro tips. If you are struggling, just use the masher to get you where you need to go. All right. Let's see. We are right there at 53 minutes. So I've got 7 minutes. Let's do some new member orientation. New members, if you are new with us, let's talk to you. Big picture ideas. Understand a few things. We are trading for 60 to 90 minutes in a session. That's a time-based risk. We control our risk multiple ways. 1, time-based. 2, trade-based. Number of trades. We are not going to take more than 5 trades in a session. Now I say we. Let me rewind a second. I'm not telling you you have to. If you want to approach the markets the way that I do, I'm teaching you the way that I approach the markets. I take 60 to 90 minutes for a session, and then I walk away. It has been proven that a human can only keep the maximum level of concentration for 60 to 90 minutes. So we use that psychological component to maximize what we can do as a human sitting at our desk. Even me right now, I'm getting fatigued right now because I've sat here for an hour chatting with you guys, and I'm not ICT and hopped up on pain pills. So I am only human, and I'm pretty sure he's demon possessed, so he's got a little bit of a demon power helping him out there too, but I don't know, it's just speculation. So 60 to 90 minutes, 5 trades, and for targeting, I really do think that the more and the longer that you stay in the market, the more that something like this can occur. You can be well up on the day. How many trades, you know, everybody has had this at some point in your career. You are riding along, you're fine, and then you're like, you know, this is decision fatigue here. You probably good right here. If you just quit while you are ahead, quit while you're at the top, which is where this concept comes in. You will hear us talk about this all the time. And again, I didn't create this cliche, but we do use it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So that is 2 wins. We get win number 1, win number 2, and we do that within our 5 trades. It does not matter where. It doesn't mean that they're back to back. Some people get confused. They're like, oh, do I have to hit, you know, first 2? No. Maybe your first one's a winner, and maybe your second one is a loser. Maybe your third one's a loser. It's okay. What I want to do is I'm also, remember I kind of mentioned it at the beginning, but I am mentally, me personally, I think about increasing my trade size from trades 1 through 5, which is where the digital one kind of tells you that I am toe in the water, quarter position, half position. So here I'm thinking, you know, according to my account size, I know what my max is, and I know where I want to play, where I'm comfortable in my size. And again, you can't just, it's not just me being comfortable. You also have to match it up with the market that you're playing. Like you can't play, you know, 100 contracts on the Nasdaq. Now, you know, max there, you can do 100 in say the ES or the bonds. That's something super thick. So you need to associate it with the instrument that you're trading. So you need to know some things about the market that you're trading to make sure that you're not overdoing it there, but know what your size is and divide it up into 5 parts. 5 sizes. You should have 5 sizes mentally if you're trading like me. So I have a toe in the water, quarter position, half position, full, and a full plus. And then the bonus, that is a 6th trade outside of this, not really shown here, but I kind of represent that with my extra little bonus up here or my little bonus coin up here on the left. But I am increasing my size. So that means that any single trade of a winner, so if I get the green winner off of this trade, I am wiping out these 2. And now I have this. Let's say that this was plus 200. Let's say since I've increased my size here, this was maybe a plus $800 trade. And let's say that I had lost 600 amongst these. Okay, so we had a minus 600 from our 2 middle trades there. And then my final one, since I've upped my size, didn't have to change my targets at all. But let's say that I hit 800 on this second trade over here. So now I am, if I'm doing my total for this, right now I'm up $400 on the day at that point. And then at this point, I make a decision. I think through how I might want to take a bonus or not. It needs to be, I want to mentally prepare myself for an absolutely perfect A+ style setup with multiple levels of confluence, taking it maybe I'm not going to take a trade unless it absolutely is touching the masher. And maybe it's got to touch the masher in the direction of the high time frame. Maybe it's got to be perfect timing, SMLK timing. We didn't talk about SMLK timing lines, but that is, again, I don't have it on my layout right now because it, you know, some people think that it colors out the chart. I actually love seeing it. And if you're using our default workspace, I still think it is the absolute best. If you are using the 5 charts where you see the tide, the wave, the MACV filter, and then you're entering in on big or small, I still think that mentally that 5 chart layout is still the absolute best. And I always tell people all the time, if you're struggling with whatever your layout is, go back to basics. Go back to tide, wave, ripple, read from left to right. You'd be surprised at how it works really well with the human brain, in my opinion. So this is our concept of how I approach the markets with a given session, 5 trades. If you're new with us, you want to learn these things, we'll talk about where you should be to do that. So first thing, you need to know how to get into our Discord room. Discord is where all the action happens. You also should be following me over there on Twitter for sure. And we do have Instagram. There's a lot of educational content there on Instagram. But inside of the Discord room, there is a primary section to get started in your training. Top here, click on Start Here. Scroll to the top. Remember that 120-day program I told you about? There are 3 videos here that you can click on and watch through. Like, here's the nitty-gritty details of the first 40 days, the middle 40 days, the final 40 days. Again, you do not have to go live after this. This is just, I would not personally recommend, again, I'm not telling you what you should do, but I would not tell anyone to don't be going and trading live until you have been through, in my opinion, 120 days, really learning what we do here. Here's a nice quick little breakdown of that. Here is, some trainer stuff. If you want to see all the things that you're going to learn in our program, this is our most recent syllabus of all the things that we cover. Each individual item, if you don't know what something is in here, you want to come and ask about it. These are all the individual items of things that you are going to know. Here, every single person in here who's been with us for a while, I know this looks overwhelming, but it's really not. The people in here, I could name anything on this list, and just about every person in our chat who's been through our training program will know what these are. Or if they're a little bit vague on it, yeah, but they'll have heard of it. Okay, so these are the things, if you're wondering, like, well, what are you going to learn in our training program? This is it. This is the syllabus. Take a peek at that. And if you have any questions around it, of course, ask in the public chat. There is the click to get started. This will walk you through things like what's over here on the left-hand side of Discord and all of that. If you are doing a 2-week free trial with us, let's see our thing here. So go to our webpage, algoboxpro.com, and right up here, go to training. If you're doing our 2-week free trial, the very first page here, the first one, we've got 6 libraries. The very first library is installation and setup. There are some things that are slightly out of date because NinjaTrader changed a whole bunch of stuff, so please don't beat me up too much about this. We are working hard to get those updated, but we want to put the highest quality level out there. The new set of stuff that's coming out is going to be super high quality. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. We're also doing a full member login. Soon you guys will be able to come up here and click on the login. You'll be presented with your own customer client portal, and you'll be able to track where you're at in the training, and that entire syllabus will be back there in the training section, so you will know what you've covered, what you haven't. And there will be things like, there's the old videos. I want to say old, we're going to call them the classics, and that'll go into more detail. And the new stuff will be way more flashy and quick, and kind of cater to the goldfish brain that the attention spans are short these days, I tell you, and none of us have time to do things. So we want to speed you along, which is what AlgoBox does to begin with, to simplify your trading. So that's the first library, is installation and setup. If you get bored there, it's okay. Go to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you will learn some really cool strategies and how our system works with those. You can learn them and try them out in the 2-week free trial. Again, there's no strings attached, and no, we're not going to spam you like crazy. It is literally just for us to get it to you. We know that if you use the system, you're probably going to like it. So if you like it, great. We want you to be with us. If it's not for you, totally cool as well. Core, in number 4. So you want to learn our core stuff, things I kind of covered a little bit here tonight. Stay into the library there, at least till video library number 4. That is the core. We're going to cover a lot of that core content there. Now, as you're going through this library, it's not going to cover everything, all those bullet points that you saw in that syllabus list. No, they're not all in there. But if you decide that, hey, you know what, I really like what I'm learning here. I've seen you in live streams. I've won 5 trading competitions against a lot of these Furu gurus. I have been trying to coax the biggest fraud in the trading industry to just completely expose his muppetry, the ICT minion that he is, to come out and do a trading competition with me. He absolutely will not. Same old thing, different day. Robbins. I am going to call up Robbins soon. Ask them if I can go ahead and enter in once again with multiple accounts and do a documentary on how easy it is to defraud the Robins. Now, I have a feeling they will probably turn me down and not let me do that, but I'm going to show them how easy it is to win and beat the Robins and show up on the top of the leaderboard when you're trading 5 accounts, because that's what the Robins trading competition lets you do, which is why ICT wants to do it. He'll probably sign one up under his 5 sons. He's got, sign one under each kid, and then trade in both directions, YOLO trade them, go all in on every one of them, wait till an NFP, hop on the leaderboard and brag about it, beat your chest about it, classic ICT nonsense. I'm already waiting for the charade and the hurrah. However, the reason I'm saying that is, outside of the trading competitions, I think I'm going to full focus in on the software. I think you guys will benefit more from that than me going out there, beating trading competitions, you know, going out there and, you know, I feel like I'm split brained on a regular basis, trying to trade and at the same time give you guys good educational content. One of them is always lacking, whether it is my trading because I'm feeling like I've got to perform on a live stream, or the pressure to go ahead and take more trades, because otherwise it's like, well, we're sitting here and we're like, you know, twiddling our thumbs, staring at each other, waiting for some trade setup. Or I could focus on building out the brand, building out the business, really showcasing what we can do, enhancing the tool sets. So I'm going to be picking, and I think as we come into the end of the year, I think you guys are going to like it. You guys are going to benefit way more from it that way. The competitors, I mean, I've beat them all already as it is. So I don't think that any of them are like, every one of them knows that if you come into a trading competition against me, you're probably, well, yeah, I'm not saying they're going to go out of business, but I've said that that's happened in the past. Like as soon as, you know, why would you want to be with, you want to be with the best at the end of the day, and the rest is the rest, you know. So they tend to stay away now. If they want to, you know, they can brag all day and talk about it, but as soon as they see that their, you know, illustrious mentor gets whooped in a trading competition, they all want to leave. So the good news for you guys is, well, the bad news is the scammers are going to scam. Okay. The good news is that you guys are going to have me fully dedicated to really tracking through trades, really laying them out ahead of time, really talking through them, and, you know, sacrificing on my own side of my own personal trading. I'll be more functioning around the auto side of my system for myself, but really focusing in on giving you guys some really cool educational content for myself. I'm actually excited about learning the DaVinci Resolve product. How many of you guys are DaVinci Resolve fans? Anybody in here know what DaVinci Resolve is? Some of you guys may not even know what that was. I didn't know what it was till maybe about a month ago. But to do some high quality video edits, I've seen what our video editors can do. I mean, just watched the ICT documentary and the cool trailers that our video editors are able to do. I'm like, it feels like magic, but I can't do any of it. And I kind of want to learn. I want to spend a little time for myself personally learning that. So I get to learn a little bit. I'm going to be doing that. You guys get to benefit from that as well, because it's going to be high quality content, video edited, instead of me just coming out here live streaming. And, you know, as I get trolled on a regular basis, my Crayola arrows with all my colors and drawings and designs of all of this. Now, some of you guys may miss it. I don't know. Maybe you guys like it. But no, I think you guys will not miss my coffee cup drawings and my little hearts and things. I think it'll be good for you with the high-end video edit stuff. But I will focus in on a bit more of that. We'll be dropping some shorts, kind of like Mike Schwartz has been doing. If you guys are not following him, give him a follow, Mike Schwartz on YouTube. And he also has another channel called Live Day Trading over there. And he's been putting out some cool shorts of individual strategies to showcase our work quicker, faster, get it to the point, instead of having to come here and watch through a lot of my live streams. That's beneficial to you as well. Let's see. I think I have, as far as getting the 2-week free trial, if you are new with us, do the 2-week free trial. And if you do a 2-week free trial with us, you will get my absolute best offer. You always will get an opportunity to have the best offer from us. You're not going to have to worry about, well, maybe I should just wait till Black Friday, which, by the way, hint, nudge, nudge, Black Friday is coming up. It is going to be an awesome offer. But we've already kind of shot it out there. It's out there, available on the weekends, and we put it only up here in our announcement section. It's not available on the website, but if you go into the announcement section, you'll see our best offer there. And if you are coming in on a 2-week free trial, you might also receive a special gift if you join there after your 2-week free trial. In that first month, you decide, hey, you know what, I really want to go in on this. Great. Well, number one, we will get you the best offers, beating or meeting the Black Friday offers always, and offer you a special gift along with it. So hit me up. If you want to take advantage of that, you will need to contact me either via a phone chat, schedule a call with me. If you've done a 2-week free trial, schedule a call with me to get that special offer. Or we're going to be setting something up on one of our social medias, because quite frankly, you know what? We don't grow on social media at all. You know why? Because we have really intelligent people here, professionals who don't fart around on social media all day. I can barely get you guys to retweet me, comment, all that kind of stuff. At the same time, the ICT teenage children, they're on Twitter and social media all day long. They don't have anything better to do. So it always seems like, you know, they're the loud ones, but we're the smart ones. We're just the quiet, smart ones. So Love you guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out here tonight. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis, G, and the rest of the gang, I am sending out the big H-Town. See ya.
The old adage where, the individual investor doesn't have a chance, but the institutional investor has better technology, better information, and, more money and better opportunity, I don't think it's real anymore. I think the edge is on the individual investor because they're small, they're nimble, they can trade, they can use front-end technology.
Don't waste your time. Leave the technical analysis to us. You just play the game.
And don't forget, I will be dropping my broker statement out there on Twitter tonight. So please go and rub that in the face of some ICT Muppets tonight. See ya.